Okay, good morning, students. Okay, so good morning, students. So, last class we have discussed about different types of sedimentation tank. Okay, so yesterday I have given you a problem. So I think we will do the problem in the class. So theory I will I'm having some videos. So with the help of some videos I will show the theory part. I will show the videos and I'll explain the theory part. Okay, so it will be very easy to understand for you because the subject is very simple. Only it has some new terms. Okay, so I will continue with the theory now. Okay, so after the theory, if there is time, I will do the problem. So last class we were discussing about types of sedimentation tank. Okay, different types of sedimentation tank. Okay, so based on the methods of operation, we are having intermittent flow type sedimentation tank. Okay, then that we have explained. I have explained the last in the class. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. So based on the intermittent time, that is, we have discussed yesterday. That is what will be stored for some time. After that, you will be removing water. You will clean the tank, and again there will be flow. Okay, so that is that kind of tank is called as intermittent. Next, we are having continuous flow. That means 24 hours water will be there. Okay. Next is horizontal flow sedimentation tank. That is usually which is a rectangular in shape. Okay, and the maximum permissible velocity for here will be zero point 0.3 meter per second. Okay, next coming to the vertical flow sedimentation tank. Okay, so the vertical flow sedimentation tank generally it will be having a circular shape. Okay, the vertical flow sedimentation tank generally it will be having a circular shape and a hopper will be provided at the bottom to dispose the sludge. Okay, so come to the next one. Types of next classification is based on the shape. Okay, there's a sedimentation types of sedimentation tank based on the shape. So first we are having circular tank, rectangular tank, and hopper bottom tank. Okay, so circular tank as the name indicates they are preferred for the continuous vertical flow sedimentation tank. Okay, so normally usually circular sedimentation tank they are preferred for a continuous vertical flow type of sedimentation tank. That means the water will be stored throughout the year. Okay, so in this case influent is sent to the central pipe of the tank and radial flow takes place. Okay, that means through the center influent will be flowing and the mechanical sludge cages are provided to collect the sludge and the collected sludge is carried through sludge provided at the bottom. Okay, so all these things we have discussed last class. So I'll just show you a video on it. Okay, see, so this, okay, so as you're seeing this is a circular. Okay, so see, this is a circular sedimentation tank. So it will be like this. Okay, so there will be a bottom. So bottom you can see there will be an inlet pipe and water will be flowing through this pipe. Okay, the water will be flowing through this pipe and the sludge that is deposited will be removed through this pipe. This is sludge deposition tank. Okay, so this is a vertical flow sedimentation tank. Okay, so here one of the peculiarity is that you will be maintaining a radial flow. Okay, here we are having a radial flow. So how we are having the radial flow means, I'll show that. Okay, this is a scum box. Okay, yesterday I have told you about scum for removing the scum box. Okay, the scum box will be there at the one corner. The scum removal pipe. This is a scum removal pipe. You can see. Okay, see. So see, this will be rotating. There will be an arrangement, that is mechanical arrangement will be there. So this will be rotating. Okay, this girdar will be rotating, and through this there will be a radial flow in the pipe. Okay, through this a radial flow will be there in the pipe. So you can see. So this is how water will be entering through the bottom. Water will be entering. Okay, through the bottom water will be entering in the circular sedimentation tank, and after that, okay, you can see the deposition sludge, the sedimented particles has been deposited at the bottom. Okay, so this is the influent depth. So all the particles that will be deposited at the bottom side, and the water will be the effluent water, the pure water will be collected through this effluent pipe. You can see here. See, through this the water will be collected. So see here. So all they can see the black things, right? So that is the flocculants. So all the flocculants or whatever the sediments is there, it will be deposited at the bottom, and the good water, okay, the treated water or the sedimented water will be collected through this effluents. So this is a circular sedimentation tank. Okay. So to maintain this radial flow, okay, so you can see here. So this there will be a girdar things like to maintain this radial flow. This girdar will be rotating. Okay. Okay, I think that's enough. So next I will show you the rectangular sedimentation tank also. So here we can see the rectangular sedimentation tank. Okay, so how the sediment particles are deposited and how this is collected. Okay, so this is the influence zone. So through here water will be collected. Though the sludge particles, whatever the particles is deposited, it will be collected through the bottom. Okay, there will be effluent. So the effluents will be collected. The effluent water will be flowing through this top. Okay. Okay, so this is how things are happening in a rectangular sedimentation tank. Okay, now we can go back to our PPT. Okay, next is hopper bottom tank. Okay, so this is a hopper bottom tank. So here the reflector box will be located at the top and which deflects the influent water coming from the central pipe to downwards, and the sludge is collected at the bottom and it is disposed to a sludge pipe. Okay, so that means this will be having a hopper bottom, and the sludge, all the sludge which is deposited will be collected from the bottom. Okay, the influent water will be coming through here, the influent water will be coming, and there will be a sludge pipe. Okay, there will be a sludge pipe to remove all the sludge. So this type of tank is known as hopper bottom tank. Okay, next is types of sedimentation tank based on the location. So based on the location, mainly we are having two types of sedimentation tank, that is primary sedimentation tank and secondary sedimentation tank. Okay, so primary sedimentation tank, it is a normal sedimentation tank in which water is stored at rest for some time, and the sludge is collected at the bottom and oily matter collected at the top will be removed. Okay, after the primary sedimentation process, the water which is discharged into the aerobic filter and the activated sludge process takes place. Okay, so here what is happening there, it is a normal type of sedimentation tank. Okay, so here the water will be stored for some time, and while storing, all the sedimented particles, all whatever the sludge will be collected at the bottom will be removed. Okay, on the top portion there will be some oily matters, so that oily matter will be removed later. Okay, and the water which we collected from the bottom, okay, that is the sludge we have collected from the top of collected from the bottom will be treated later. Okay, so that treatment of that waste particle is called as activated sludge process. Okay, the treatment of that waste particles that is deposited is called as activated sludge process. Coming to the secondary sedimentation tank. After the sludge process takes place, the wastewater enters the secondary sedimentation tank, in which the suspended particles contains microbes and are removed and reflected into the aerobic filter to maintain a high microbe concentration in the aerobic filter. Okay, so this primary sedimentation tank and secondary sedimentation tank, this is mainly for the wastewater treatment. Okay, normally for the water treatment we are not using primary and secondary. Primary sedimentation tank, especially this secondary sedimentation tank, this is used for wastewater treatment. Okay, so in wastewater means you will be having sewage waste will be there, sunlight waste will be there, waste from different types of hospitals, or we can say industries, different types of waste. For the treatment of that kind of waste, we are using secondary sedimentation tank. So in the secondary sedimentation tank, the water will be collected after the primary sedimentation. The primary sedimentation ശേഷമായിരിക്കും secondary sedimentation-ലേക്ക് വെള്ളം വരിക. Okay, so that water will be having a lot of microbial content, organic matters, or you can say pathogens will be there. Okay, so these pathogens will be removed by providing sufficient amount of oxygen and other microbial treatment. Okay, ഒരുപാട് microbial treatment ആണ് നമ്മൾ secondary sedimentation process-ൽ കൊടുക്കുന്നത്. Okay, so that's a different type of that is types of sedimentation tank based on the location, that is primary and secondary. Okay, so primary, it is a normal sedimentation tank where the sludge will be collected at the bottom and oil will be removed. Okay, for the wastewater treatment we are using secondary sedimentation tank. Okay, the wastewater, there will be a lot of organic matters, microbial activities and all. Okay, so after this primary sedimentation, water will be collected in the secondary sedimentation tank, and the microbial activity of this water will be reduced. The pathogens in the water will be treated, or they will be removed. So that is secondary sedimentation tank. So that's about the different types of sedimentation tank. Now, coming to the one more thing, that is okay. Next is we need to know about the certain terms. Okay, certain design concepts of the plain sedimentation tank. Okay, before yes, design concept of a plain sedimentation tank. Okay, well, the first one is we need to know certain terms to study about the design of a plain sedimentation tank. Okay, so in this module mainly we will be designing a plain sedimentation tank, normally which is having a rectangular shape or a circular shape. Okay, so coming to the design concept, first term that you need to know is that overflow rate or surface flow rate or surface loading, which is denoted as VO, that is equal to Q divided by BL. Okay, that is discharge divided by breadth into length. V is equal to Q divided by VL. Okay, so normally if the value will be given, if they are not given, you can take it as 12 to 18 meter cube per day per meter square, or if in liters, 500 to 750 liters per hour per meter square for type 1 settling, and 24 to 30 meter cube per day per meter square, or 1000 to 1250 liters per hour per meter square for type 2. Okay, so that is generally overflow അല്ലെങ്കിൽ surface overflow അല്ലെങ്കിൽ surface loading, that is Q divided by BL, discharge divided by BL. Depth is usually taken between 1.8 to 6 meters. Okay, usually will be taken 3 to 4 meters. Okay, for the tank without a mechanical scraper, we should give an additional depth for the storage of sludge called as sludge stone. അപ്പോൾ മെക്കാനിക്കൽ സ്ക്രേപ്പർ ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ അടിയിൽ കുറച്ച് ഡെപ്ത് കൊടുക്കണം. That is for the storage of sludge, which is called as the sludge zone. That means if the sedimentation tank will be like this, so if the water is like this, particles will be sedimented at the bottom. Okay, so you should provide some additional depth for the proper sludge deposition. Sludge it should not affect the depth of the sedimentation tank. Okay, it should not affect the depth of sedimentation tank. Okay, so we should provide an additional depth. Materials in additional depth you should provide at the bottom, which is called as sludge zone. Normally it is taken as 0.8 to 1.2 meter, and you should also provide a freeboard of 0.5 meter. Okay, next one is detention time. Okay, detention time means, what is that? You are the definitions in the detention time. So one definition is that is the average time taken by a particle to travel from the inlet to outlet, and the definition the average time taken by a particle to settle. So here we are defining it as the time taken for a water to flow in a tank. Okay, ഒരു ടാങ്കിൽ വെള്ളം ഫ്ലോ ചെയ്യാൻ എടുക്കുന്ന സമയം, that is called as detention time in the plain sedimentation tank. Okay, so here we are defining detention time as the time required by a water to flow through a tank. ഒരു ടാങ്കിലൂടെ ഫ്ലോ ചെയ്യാൻ എടുക്കുന്ന സമയം. Okay, so normally it is taken as volume divided by rate of flow അല്ലെങ്കിൽ discharge. Okay, so next one is width of the tank. So width of the tank should be normally should be kept as less than 12 meters. Next one is length of the tank. Length of the tank normally it is taken as 1 to 6 to breadth. Okay, next one is horizontal flow velocity. Horizontal flow velocity, it is taken as L divided by T, that is length of flow divided by detention time. Length of flow divided by detention time, and the flow velocity is usually between 0.15 to 0.9 meter per minute. Okay, normal or optimum value is 0.3 meter per minute. Okay, so the range of value is 0.15 to 0.9 meter per minute. The range means normally optimum value we can take it as 0.3 to 0.3 minutes to 0.3 meters per minute. Next one is total amount of water flow from a tank, that is equal to 24 hours. That is we are calculating like maximum എത്ര വെള്ളമാണ് 24 മണിക്കൂറിൽ ഫ്ലോ ചെയ്തത്. That is taken as maximum daily demand. That is amount of flow that is flowing into tank in a 24 hours or in a day. In a day, how much amount of water is flowing into tank? So that is taken as maximum daily demand. Okay, so we have done a problem. I think these terms are similar to you. Okay, next one is check for score. Okay, check for score. So scoring is one of the major problem. So scoring means what? When the particles, there will be different types of particles in a water. Okay, so when the particles are sedimenting, the scoring, the particles and the surface of the sedimentation tank may rub each other and the scoring may occur. Okay, that is important. The particles which is sedimented and the surface of the sedimentation tank will be rub. അതായത് ഈ പാർട്ടിക്കിൾസും ടാങ്കിൻ്റെ സെഡിമെൻറ്റേഷൻ ടാങ്കും തമ്മിൽ റബ് ചെയ്യും. ഈ പാർട്ടിക്കിളും ടാങ്കിൻ്റെ സർഫസ് തമ്മിൽ റബ് ചെയ്യും. Okay, but because of that a scoring will occur. Okay, so the flow velocity should be smaller than the score velocity to avoid the scoring. That means the flow velocity should be lower than the score velocity. That is, to occur a score velocity, sorry, to occur a score, there should be a velocity. Is scoring occurring a velocity വേണം. Okay, so the flow velocity should be smaller than the score velocity. Then only we can avoid the scoring. Okay, so we are having a particular equation for that. This is that equation. Okay, so v should be less than v into d, then v into d. So this ഇത് ഇങ്ങനെയാണ്. This v should be less than v into d. Okay, that is velocity, flow velocity. This is flow velocity. Flow velocity should be less than scoring velocity. But scoring velocity is given as 8 beta by f dash into g minus 1 into d. Okay, so f dash, that is Darcy's Weisbach friction factor, and beta is a constant which is taken as 0.04. Okay, okay, so next one is another important thing, that is inlet and the outlet arrangement. Okay, inlet and the outlet arrangement, that is the channel. So this is the inlet arrangement and this is the outlet arrangement. You can see inlet pipe or outlet pipe. Okay. So for the inlet pipe, the channel extending full width should be provided for the entering water. അതായത് ചാനലിൻ്റെ അതേ വിഡ്ത്ത് തന്നെ വേണം നമ്മൾ ഇൻലെറ്റ് കൊടുക്കാൻ. Okay, so whatever the channel, same channel, the same width, then you should provide for the inlet arrangement, that is for the proper entering of the water. Coming to the outlet, channel extending full width should be provided for taking water. Same channel, the same width, that full width of the channel should be provided for the outlet also. So what are the providing, that is how much you are providing for the channel. Okay, maybe you can say the channel width is 2 meter, so you should provide a 2 meter width for the outlet also. Okay, that is full width. Whatever the channel width is, that much width you should provide it for the outlet. Same goes for the inlet also. Okay, if for the inlet the channel width is 2 meter, that 2 meter should be provided for the inlet also. The 2 meter width should be provided for the inlet. Same goes for the outlet. Okay, and next another important thing is cleaning and the sludge removal. Okay, so that is a very important thing, that is after every sedimentation, that is we will be treating liters and liters of water. Okay, that is metric. We are treating a lot of amount in the water, so a lot of amount of water in the day. Okay, so there can be a huge sludge. Okay, so this sludge has to be removed regularly, then only we can maintain a constant purity of the water. Okay, so how can we remove the sludge? First thing is that you can remove it manually, that is stop water supply and drain off the contaminated water till the depth remaining 30 centimeter. The sludge is stirred and removed as slurry through a pipe provided at the bottom. Use pickaxe to remove hard material. That is usually നമ്മുടെ വീട്ടിലെ water tank. How we are cleaning a water tank? That is periodically we will be cleaning our water tank. So how we are cleaning? First of all we will empty all the water. Okay, we will drain off all the water, then you will pour some water into it, and then you will manually you will clean it. With using some brooms or something like that, you will manually clean it on the എന്നിട്ടൊന്ന് ചെറിക്കുന്ന ചളിവെള്ളം ശരിക്കും ചളിവെള്ളം അതിനകത്തിട്ട് കലക്കിയിട്ട് that water will be drained off. So same procedure here if you are following. Okay, here also we'll stop the drain, we'll stop the water supply. Okay, here also you will stop the water supply. After that you will pour some water and the sludge will be stirred. Okay, the stirring. Okay, the sludge will be stirred and the stirred water will be removed, or you can use some pickaxes to remove the hard materials. Okay, so that's the manner. The same we are doing with our water tank. Okay, നമ്മുടെ വീട്ടിലെ water tank clean ചെയ്യുന്ന same procedure you can follow. Second one is mechanical, by the means of mechanical, that is a mechanical device is provided. If the sludge scrape are brought to the bottom continuously, okay, the sludge at the bottom is removed by pumping. Okay, so I will show you a small video on this, how you are mechanically removing it. So see this. So this is a rectangular sedimentation tank. Here the sludge is removing. So here mechanically you are having a scraper like this. These are the scraper. Okay. So the scrapers are fitted to a trolley. Chain trolley fitted. Okay. So the scraper will be continuously for all the sedimentation particles. All the sedimented particles will be at the bottom. Okay. The sludge will be at the bottom. So first you will drain off the water and then you will scrape the bottom of the tank. So you can see here like this. See, okay, all the particles will be, so here you are having a sludge pipe. Okay, what is sludge pipe under, and all the sedimented particles will be removed like this. Can you see? See, whatever the particles which is sedimented, it will be removed like this using this mechanical scraper. Okay, so that's it. Later there will be sludge, this will be deposited, this will be collected from the bottom. Okay, it will be collected from the bottom like this. So that's a sludge removal. Okay, that is by the mechanical sludge removal. Okay, so that's about the cleaning and the sludge removal. Okay, next one is flow through period. Okay, that is due to the short circuiting, the actual time will be less than the intended detention time. The actual time is called as the flow through period. Okay, so flow through means due to the short circuiting. Okay, okay. One more thing that I missed there, I think. Okay. Okay, here we have one more point is there in the slide, that is a short circuit. Okay, so short circuit means, okay, if the water current permits a portion of water to pass directly to the tank without detain for intended time, the flow is called as short circuited. Okay, so that means if the water current is passing through the water which is there in the sedimentation tank, the water will be passing, like the water will be directly passing the tank. Okay, so without the detained time or without the certain tank will be having a certain detention time. Okay, so without staying for the detention time, if the water is flowing, it is called as short circuited. It is called as short circuited. Okay, now flow through short period means due to this short circuiting, the actual time will be less than the intended detention time. For example, if I'm telling that the detention time was 8 hours, okay, but the flow occurred only for 5 hours. Okay, so that means a short circuiting has occurred over there. Okay, that means a short circuiting has occurred over there. Okay, the due to this short circuiting, the actual time will be less than the intended time. Okay, so such flow is called as flow through period. Okay, so that such a flow is called as a flow through period. Okay, Next one is displacement efficiency. That is flow through period divided by detention time. You will get the displacement efficiency. Okay, if the flow displacement efficiency means if you divide flow through period with the detention time, you will get the displacement efficiency. How much of water has been displaced. Okay, അതിന്റെ എഫിഷ്യൻസിനെ പറയുന്ന പേരാണ് ഡിസ്പ്ലേസ്മെന്റ് എഫിഷ്യൻസി. Okay, so you know what is short circuit? Short circuit means a sedimentation tank will be having a certain detention time. So that much of detention time is not used. It's 8 hours and only 6 hours water has been stored. Okay, so there a short circuiting has occurred. Okay, so that is short circuiting. Next, I think almost I have covered all the theory portions now. Okay, now we can go to the problem. Okay, so the here I'm very sorry to tell you that the portion is pretty large. Okay, there is a lot of theory and problem. So now we can do the yesterday's problem. So yesterday I have given you a problem. So the problem was to design a rectangular sedimentation tank. Okay, a rectangular sedimentation tank whose daily demand is whose daily demand is 9. So whose daily demand is 9 into 10 raised to 6 liters per day. Okay, so that's the daily demand. Then you have to design a suitable sedimentation tank provided with a mechanical sludge remover. So you have to assume a velocity of 22 centimeter per 22 centimeter per minute. So that is velocity is equal to 22 centimeter per minute, and detention time is 8 hours. Okay, so we'll do the problem. First of all, you have to write down all the given data. So second one is you have to find out the quantity of water that is to be treated in 24 hours. Okay, so how much of water you have to treat. So here we are designing a sedimentation tank. Okay, so quantity of water that should be treated in 24 hours. Okay, so how much of water is there? 9 into 10 raised to 6 liters of water is there. That is in a day. Or there was some 9 into 10 raised to 6 liters of water. Okay, water demand is there. Okay, so if you convert that into hours, so how much it will be? 9 into 10 raised to 6 divided by 24. Okay, 9 into 10 raised to 6 into 24. That is, you will get this in hours. Okay, quantity of water that is to be treated. Now they have given the detention time. Detention time detention time is 8 hours. Okay, so quantity of water to be treated in 24 hours, not 24 hours, quantity of water that is to be treated in a sedimentation tank. Okay, നമ്മുടെ sedimentation tankil treat ചെയ്യേണ്ട വെള്ളം. Okay, so 9 into 10 raised to 6 liters ആണ് total demand in a day. If you convert into hours, divided by 24, and the detention period that is given is 8. So into 8. So 9 into 10 raised to 6 divided by 24 into 8 hours. So you will get it as 3 into 10 raised to 3 meter cube. Okay, this liters you have to convert to meter cube. Okay, liters divided by 1000 you will get in meter cube. Okay, so this is in liters. So you will get the answer in liters divided by 1000 to get into meter cube. Okay, so this much of meter cube. Okay, this means that the capacity of the sedimentation tank. How much it is? The capacity of the sedimentation tank is 3 into 10 raised to 3 meter cube. The capacity is known. Next, you have to find out the length, the width, and cross section of the sedimentation tank. Okay, so capacity indicates the volume. Volume of the tank is 3 into 10 raised to 3. So next. So next they have given the velocity. Next is we are going to find out the width, depth, width, and length of the sedimentation tank. Okay, so for that they have given the velocity. Velocity of flow is 22 centimeter per minute. If you are converting into meters, you will get it as 0.2 meters per minute. Okay, length of the tank is equal to how much it is? Velocity of flow into detention time. Okay, if you multiply velocity with the detention time, you will get length of the tank, that is 0.22 into 8, that is 0.22 is the velocity, detention time is 8 hours. Okay, so 8 hours you have to convert into minutes, because here the given data is in minutes. 0.22 meters per minute. Okay, so this 8 hours you have to convert into minutes, so into 60. So that is, you will get as 106 centimeter. Okay, next one is cross sectional area. Cross sectional area of the tank is equal to capacity or volume. How much is capacity or volume of the tank divided by length of the tank? So capacity is how much? 3000. 3 into 10 raised to 3 divided by length of the tank 106. How you will get it as 28.3. Okay, 28.3. Next is you have to find out the width of the tank. Okay, so we don't know width of the tank, so what we are doing is that here we are assuming a width. So sorry, we are assuming a depth. Okay, we are assuming a depth of 3.5 meters. Okay, so you are assuming a depth of 3.5 meters. Width of the tank will be how much it is? Cross section, this is in meter square, right? So 28.3 divided by 3.5, you get it as 8.1 meters. Okay, 8.1 meters. Same, similar. Same പരിപാടി തന്നെയാണ് ഇവിടെ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. There is no difference. So now all the dimensions are known, right? We have known all the dimensions. Okay, like every dimension is known now. Okay, so what is the dimension now? Dimension of the tank is, length of the tank is how much? 106. Width is 8.1. Depth is 3.1. Okay, so that is depth is 3.5 meters. Okay, so we have to provide a freeboard of 0.5 meters. Okay, you have to provide a freeboard of 0.5 meters. So with the 0.5 would add, yeah, so we'll get it as 4 meters. So into 4 meters. Okay, so that's the dimension of the tank, length into breadth into height. Okay, so now you can pause your name to mark the attendance. Okay, just go through the problem. I will upload all the notes in Leanbase. So കുറച്ച് ലെങ്തി ആയതുകൊണ്ട് കുറച്ച് സ്പീഡിലാണ് പോയത്, എന്നാലേ പോർഷൻസ് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. Thank you.